Hey guys, it's Chris, and I'm on the way down to get my sister. Just finished packing up my room, and I figured I'd do a talk today. It's not going to be a tech review, well, it has to do with technology, but um, anyway, it's too bright out here. I can't really see how my camera work is, but the visuals aren't really important. So, quite a few people have come to me trying to advocate um, technology with their state agencies, and I just want to give a little talk that maybe you can base a letter on, or you can give your VR counselor a link to this to see an example of someone who has dealt with technology for so long that I understand when, its proper uses and where it's important, where it's not. So the first is picking a screen reader that works for you. Now, I've dealt with all the major screen readers. I've tried Window Eyes, I've tried NVDA, I've tried JAWS, I've tried VoiceOver, and for me, honestly, I think VoiceOver really does it. I just find the flexibility of the program and the usability of it easier. So, my biggest challenge was convincing the state. Me personally, I did not have time to convince the state, so basically, I just had to buy a Mac myself. Now, because I was in such a hurry, it was kind of like a bottom tier Mac, but it did its job. And I understand not everyone has that, but as a student and a as a member of, well, not really a member, as a customer of your state agency, you should be able to tell them, hey, this is what I am most efficient with. I should be able to get this. And for people who prefer VoiceOver, their argument is going to be, well, we have people here who can train you in JAWS. We have people here who know all about Windows and this, that, and the third. Well, in a lot of situations, you don't really have time to learn a new screen reader. In a lot of these situations, you're either about to go into college or you're already in college. Sorry about that. Or you're already in college. So, if you already know a screen reader, then why take the precious time learning to use one when you could be preparing yourself for what's coming? Now, I will say this. You have to be going into a specific field in order for them to purchase you a Mac. Now, I know I just went on about the whole screen reader diatribe, blah, 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 blah. But they do have policies and procedures. So, if you're going into graphic design, if you're going into music, if you're going into anything involving media, if you want to do app development, those are the majors that are easily argued, because you have iMovie and Aperture and Final Cut, you have GarageBand, Logic, and Pro Tools, and you have Xcode, which is the integrated developer environment that you can get for free with a Mac. Now, you can't get free IDEs with PCs, but they're not as good, and Xcode is just better for app development. It has built-in simulators. It has interface builder, which is completely accessible. A lot of IDEs that have these features are not accessible or barely accessible. So that's another thing you could mention. GarageBand, iMovie, Pro Tools, Logic, all the other media programs that I mentioned before are accessible with VoiceOver. Now, another argument that you're going to hear, well, Macs are so expensive. Now, if you want a good Mac, say a MacBook Pro, 8 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig hard drive, the essentials, you're looking at roughly $1,200. PCs are cheaper, but number one, you have to buy a JAWS license. Number two, you have to worry about SMAs, servants maintenance agreements. And number three, the programs are just expensive. Sorry about putting the sun in your face there. And when you pay that $1,200 for the Mac, number one, you get VoiceOver already installed. Number two, GarageBand is free. iMovie is free. Xcode is free. Aperture, Final Cut, Logic, blah, 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 those are a bit more expensive, but not nearly as, I mean, you just don't have to deal with the accessibility hassle. You just don't. Now, moving on to Braille displays, a big one right now is, I know quite a few people whose state agencies bought them PackMates, and they're like, well, you have the detachable display that comes with the PackMate, that should be enough. No, it is not. Just because of the fact that, number one, it's just old. Freedom Scientific doesn't update it like they should. It's not compatible with a lot of things. It just isn't. So, if you're a PC user, that's all fine and good. But if you're like, you know, a constantly growing percentage of the blind community and you use Mac, it won't work. And a lot of newer Braille displays have Braille keyboards on them, and they offer input directly to your computer or your iPad or your iPhone or wherever you're using with. And that it's been argued, hey, you have word processing and all this on the PackMate. But number one, the word processing capabilities on the PackMate are pretty limited. Number two, the PackMate is just an old device. It's just old. And the technologies that are used in it are outdated. They aren't compatible with other things. It's too much of a single-purpose device. There are other note-taker solutions. The Braille Note's pretty good. I couldn't necessarily say the same about the Braille Note. In the Braille sense is, I think, the top of the three right now, with the U2 and the U2 Mini having Excel and PowerPoint and Dropbox and all that stuff. So if you own one of those three devices, I don't think I can help you justify that. But if you own a PackMate and you need help, please let me know or share this video with your VR counselor and have them contact me for more information about it. I've helped justified other people getting equipment, and if you need help, I can certainly help you. So, let's see, is there anything else that I am missing? I don't think so. This is the talk that I decided to give because I was I just wanted to upload some content, and I just figured it'd help.
Stop recording video button.
See ya.